start for the High Q Components Formula First Championship. Very exciting racing. Lots of lead changes last time. Good clean start. Oh, Reese Hendy-Cox bogged it down from the get-go. And Caleb Nartar's gone. Chris Simons ducked into second as well. And I think Crawley would have got up there along with Liam Foster. So Reese Hendy-Cox, he just got it bogged down from the start. He'd be disappointed with that.
Yeah, definitely. Reese made a lot of ground in the championship yesterday for his fight for third place. So he'll certainly be disappointed with that. It's a massive blow to his championship hopes.
But he's still got a chance to work his way back through the field. You've got 8 laps, lots of drafting with this particular class, so no reason to panic. Just get the old head down and away you go. Smoking up the tyres as they go through turn 7 for the first time. Amen corner is what they're thinking about it, calling it. Down through turn 9, which is the slider. Because you slide the car quickly around along to the pines. In fact, turn 5 and turn 9, very, very similar types of things. You're going to be sliding the cars both ways.
Yeah, exactly. Callum Crawley looks like he's found a bit of pace over yesterday. He's right on the back of Chris Simon there. As Liam Foster pops into 5th there. Amy Smith tried to make a move down the inside of Conrad Clark. It looks like Reese Hendy-Cox has made his few positions up. He's back into 6th now.
So Chris Simon's got the draft on Caleb Nartar down that long straight, 830 metres, and he's got the job done as they go through into what they're now nicknaming as Devil's Corner. It's a nice little wee kink, little carousel type sort of, takes your speed off, and you really got to know your entry speed going onto that home straight.
Oh, Blake Evans, that's a huge moment at the final corner there.
So he's just come off and he's hit the wall. So that's going to bring out the safety car. So this is the young kid in the field, what, 13 years old?
Yeah, 13-year-old. That's looks like quite a bit of damage there for Blake. He just ran wide and collected the tyre wall onto the approach to the main straight there. Looks like it's ripped the front tyre off there. That'll be a safety car.
So we were just talking about Devil's Corner, which is what they're nicknaming it now. But as you come down, you sort of go through that carousel effect, and you've got to scrub off your speed. And if you come out too wide, you can get onto the ripple strip and hit that concrete wall along that main straight. He's not the first person to do that, so huge part of a learning curve for a young kid, 13 years old, having a crack in the Formula First Championship. Of course, they've had opportunities to do that in the past with this particular class, haven't they?
Yeah, we've had lots of young guys come through the class. In fact, we were the first class in New Zealand to have a junior driver, and that junior driver was Scott Dixon. He raced here when he was 13 years old, and he actually won the championship as well when he was 13.
So it's a great breeding ground for the future. Of course, Brendan Hartley also did some Formula First racing as well. So, oh, that was the replay.
That's quite a big hit there for Blake. There'll be a lot of damage on the front of that car. Hopefully he hasn't been to front beam. The Formula First run a standard Volkswagen front beam, and they are quite heavy duty, and when they bend they are quite hard to fix, so hopefully they've got a spare, or hopefully there's not too much damage there.
So it's all got the same motor, haven't they, the VW motors?
Yep, they all run this a standard 1200cc VW motor from way back, and they're all highly tuned. In fact, I think they produce twice the power output than standard. It's around about 70 horsepower.
Which is why you learn a lot about racecraft in these, because they've all got the same motor, but it's all about positioning on the track, how you work through the gears, your braking spots, then of course the exit speed coming out of those corners, and that's where young Blake Evans just got it slightly wrong, hit that ripple strip and then bang onto the tyre wall and into the concrete fence. So the field will line up behind the safety car, the Lexus RCF safety car like they're doing now. They'll keep the tyres going, and then the recovery crews are out and about quick and early, bright and early this morning. And their job is to try and get that car off that track as quickly as possible so we can resume racing. That's always one of the difficulties, is how long it actually takes to get the cars off the track, depending on what sort of damage is done and where they are.
Yeah, exactly. Just looking at Reece Hindercox now, he's up into 5th position. He'll be loving the safety car, competing the group and strengthening his chances for making a charge back up to the front. Hopefully another win for him.
Of course, one of the other guys to watch out for is car number 11, young Conrad Clark from Taupo, a 15-year-old local Year 10 student. He's picked up the Sabre Motorsport and the Speed Sports Scholarship, so had a fantastic Manfield Winter Series. Had his maiden win on debut, which is always a great feeling for a young guy like him. So he's had 17 races so far. He's had a couple of wins, 9 podiums, 2 fastest laps, and plenty of excellent support from Dennis Martin, the team from the Speed Sports Scholarship. So watch out for one of the local drivers, one of the young teenage kids in these cars. That's car number 15, the blue car of Conrad Clark from Taupo.
Yeah, Conrad's been doing quite well. He's sitting in 4th at the moment, and it looks like he might have the pace to get another podium. He's got one so far at each round, so I'm sure his crew will be very keen to see him on one of the steps of the podium again.
So if you're just live streaming at the moment, joining us, we've got race day 2 Sunday at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park for the Speedworks Motorsport Championship. This is the opening round of the championship. We go to Ruapuna in January, followed by Teretonga. Then, of course, up to Hampton Downs, back down to Taupo and up to Manfield for the 5-round Toyota Racing Series over the summer. That's been another fantastic wings and slicks formula. That's been a breeding ground for all of the stars from these cars in the future, from the past as well. The likes of Brendan Hartley, of course, coming through that. Mitch Evans, Nick Cassidy had success and now racing with Lexus in Japan and winning the Super GT title there this year. So the Toyota Racing Series, absolutely fantastic, supported by TR86, the Toyota 86 Series as well. So that's going to be one of the highlights of the summer. Busy weekend here for the bikes coming up next weekend at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. What's the next round of your championship?
Next round of our championship is back here at Taupo on February for the another Speedworks event with the TRS event, round 3 of their championship.
So it'll give you guys a chance to have a nice little break over Christmas and New Year?
Yeah, we've got a nice 2-month break, so plenty of time for the teams to develop the cars a bit further, do some driver training, and good break before we head into the next round next year.
What sort of driver training do they get the chance to do?
A lot of the guys obviously do a lot of gym work, that sort of training first off, and then a lot of them will go over onboards and analyse and look at onboards of previous years if they've raced in the class before, or look at other drivers' onboards, watch as much footage as they can. Some of the cars are running data systems, so they'll be able to go over their data and see where they can improve, but otherwise it's just a lot of analysing their own driving through race footage of their own and other people's.
Is there a lot of talking going on amongst the drivers in the pits and between the different teams about what they're doing and how they're doing and how potentially they could actually make it, go better, or is it very, very serious, competitive, and no one gives anything away?
The class is hugely competitive, but everyone gets along really well. Between races, we're out kicking a ball in the paddock there. Everyone gets on really well, and everyone has their secrets, but everyone's keen to lend a hand. When someone has a crash like Blake there, I'm sure most of the field will be offering their help and trying to get him back on track for this afternoon's race.
Yeah, learning curve for him. It'll be interesting to see what his reaction was when he hit the old tyres. Would have been pretty scary there for a moment.
Yeah, certainly would have been. I know he hasn't been happy all weekend. He's lost some of the pace that he had last round, but he's only young. He's got time on his side, and I'm sure he'll bounce back. He's impressed a lot of people so far, and I'm sure this will be a mere dent in his result sheet.
So the green car's in front. The Lexus safety car is now off. The lights are out, so we'll get the green flag as they come back down. 3 laps have now been completed, so a bit of a dramatic start there. And Chris Simon, he's going to catch them napping. They haven't played follow the leader very well. They've done that, but they haven't closed up. So he's got a nice little wee break straight away, and that's one of the other things you've got to learn from is those restarts, is how to keep bunched up. Because if you let a guy get away, then he can break the draft. So Chris Simon's done that straight away.
Yeah, safety car restarts can be absolutely crucial, especially for Chris Simon. That was a fantastic job by him to be able to get a good break there. Certainly what he needs for his championship charge all the way back through the field. I think he's moved his way up to 6th in the championship, and he'll certainly be at the pointy end at the end of the series.
Caleb Ngātaua currently still leads the championship, currently in 2nd place. He was caught napping.
Yes. They've been having a few issues with their car. They haven't quite had the pace that they had last round, so they're just out there trying to collect as many points as they can.
Callum Crawley, he's going pretty well though in the red and white Formula First, currently in 3rd place, car number 79.
Yeah, the car looks like it's behaving a lot better than it did yesterday, so they've obviously done some work overnight in the Crawley camp and currently on the podium.
So the field now starting to bunch up again, 4 laps out of 8. So we're back racing. Caleb Ngātaua starting to get that draft. Reece Hendecox is made up from that bad start. He's getting his way back up through the field into position to try and challenge these leaders. Now that defensive line down the Broadland straight. Chris Simon always races very well here. Ngātaua gets the draft, pulls out. Now they're going to come down into Devil's Corner. Leighton Hart on the brakes. Ngātaua, he's got the job done. And nicely done too. Good clean pass.
It was a great job by Caleb there to outbrake Chris. As I said earlier in the week, Chris is almost unstoppable through there, but it looks like Caleb Ngātaua is taking the fight to him really well in the top 4 move by Reece Hendecox there, potentially on Callum Crawley. No, he doesn't quite get it done. We're bunched up now, we've got a good fight for first 6 cars.
Liam Foster is in there as well, along with Conrad Clark. So the battle group now is Hendecox. Ooh, almost rubbing wheels with Crawley. Sliding into turn 4, down onto the brakes for turn 5. Sharp right-hander. Scrub the speed off and get the flow into 6 and down into the hairpin at 7. This is the cambered part of the infield. Nice flow around here. It's all about the drive coming out of this particular corner to get your speed on for 8 and through turn 9 into the pines and up for the big loop at the top end of the race course.
So Amy Smith's jumped onto the back of that top 6 battle there, making 7. She certainly had a lot of pace this weekend. It's good to see her going well again.
So what's her background?
This is her 4th season in Formula First, and she's done a lot of karting previously. Oh, we've got someone off there. It looks like it might be Travis Day, I think. Off at A1 there, turn 9.
Wouldn't be the first car to go wide coming off turn 8 and 9 onto that little wee straight before the loop. Chris Simon now, it's his chance to pay back Ngātaua, and he gets the job done. Nice bit of slipstreaming and drafting there. Ngātaua's going to come back under brakes, all locking them up, 3-4, 2 wide going into Devil's Corner, coming back onto the home straight. Hendecox, Smith and Callum Crawley. So it's Simon back out in front, Ngātaua 2nd. Hendecox may have the inside line down into turn 1 to try and grab 3rd from Crawley, and he'll just sneak in there and force Crawley out wide, but then he's going to maintain the speed down into turn 3, and he's done it. Crawley's going to have to back off. He comes under attack from Foster and Conrad Clark. Amy Smith in the white and blue Formula First car now getting into that bunch, and the top 7 races. So good tight battle group there. Then further back down the field, Hurst, Day, Sudiono, Hawley, Redshaw, Fraser, Scammell, Greenwood, who does the Formula Challenge where you can drive cars, self-driving cars, come out to a track like here and get the experience of racing an open wheeler or a Ford or a Holden.
Yeah, that's right. It's quite a popular program down here. They provide everything from suits to helmets, so you literally just turn up and have the drive of the race car.
Good Christmas present, actually, isn't it?
It would be, you're right. Wouldn't mind one myself.
You could always buy one for yourself and wrap it up and go, oh, look at that, what I've always wanted.
It'd be a nice surprise myself there.
So these guys are doing a good job at the moment. Different lines, as you can see there, very, very wide, late, almost like different apex as well sometimes, depending on where you are. And here they are again, the drafting. The great thing about this particular class is that it's going to be difficult to see who's going to be able to hold on to the lead. It's going to come down to the last lap, this last corner again, who gets the slipstream and the drafting position to try and take that lead. And the guy out in front, he's got to try and break that and try and clear off and have a little wee gap. Keep the pressure on whoever's in second and third place. So it's Caleb Nartine from Martin. He's got the lead now. 1 lap to go. Can he hold on? Chris Simon looking deadly, ready to pounce in second place. Reese Hendicott, Smith, Crawley, Foster, Clark, Amy Smith.
Oh, Louis Redshaw at turn 1 had to take a very, very narrow line in there. Luckily he didn't collect Craig Greenwood on the exit there. As they went down the back straight last time by, I saw Caleb Nartine indicate to Chris Simon that looks like they're going to work together, try stretch a bit of a lead here over Hendicott. Try win this race.
So Hendicott at the moment, he's got to get right on the rear of Craig Simon and just stay there. Chris Simon, I should say. And he's going to have a crack down turn 8. So he's going to try and make the move up here. He's going to try and catch both the leaders napping and make up for stalling at the start. So looks like he's struggling with that car a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of wheel work going on there.
Yeah.
Nartine's got a bit of a gap now.
So this is going to be the battle, where you go into this corner and how you're going to try and position yourself to come out. So they've all gone nice and deep and wide, really cut this apex. So now it's Nartine. He's actually got a nice little wee break here on Simon, and now Reese Hendicott Smith is going to try and break that draft and the slipstream down the outside. Can he go all the way? Chris Simon's going to hold him on. Nartine, he's doing a pretty good job here because Simon's down out wide. Here comes Hendicott as they go into Devil's Corner, and Simon sneaks through. Hendicott, is one of them's run wide.
Liam Foster there.
Nartine has held on for second, but Chris Simon, he loves this track and he gets another win in the Formula Firsts. Hendicott Smith comes home for third place. So great racing, plenty of lead changes. This is what the class is all about, learning racecraft, but positioning yourself to be in the right place at the right time to get that right feeling of taking the checkered flag. So Chris Simon once again proves that the Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park is one of his favourite places to race.
It's certainly